Before we jump into this video installing the FitCamX into my 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6, I just wanted to let everybody know that FitCam was kind enough to supply Roads Less Traveled with an affiliate link. If you like the FitCamX shown in this video, and you would like one for your vehicle, why don't you go check out the link below and find one that fits your particular ride. FitCam makes cameras for many makes and models, and most likely they will have one for you. Any purchases made through that link will directly support Roads Less Traveled and my future endeavors on this channel. Thank you for watching. Now to the video.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the first video in the unboxing, review, news area. I don't know what to call this space yet, but it's a new thing that I'm trying to work on a little bit here. And today we're going to be doing a review, unboxing, installation of this. This is a FitCamX. It is a integrated dash cam that's supposed to look more discreet in your vehicle instead of being something hanging off your dashboard, windshield, wherever you might want to put a dash cam. Now this particular one is going to go into my 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6. However, they make ones for many other cars, Minis, Porsches, Kias, which is the same thing as a Hyundai, but that's beside the point. But today we're going to be just reviewing this unit and doing an install on my car, so you get a general idea of what to expect with this. So first things first, we're going to take a look inside of the box here and see what you get. Now, I personally opted for the larger storage version with a rear camera because I like to have a recording of what's going on behind me as well as in front of me, because you never know if someone rear ends you and claims that you backed into them or something. It's just how the world is right now. And already off to a good start with the Apple levels of suspense in the unboxing. Seriously. I've already had this open, I will admit. But, come on. There we go. We're going to push this off to the side. You have your packing material up here to make sure it doesn't get damaged in shipment, because this is coming from China. I'm going to put this over here. And right off the bat, you have the actual unit. Now this piece right here replaces the actual sensor cover that goes for your, I believe it's HomeLink mirror, and all of your cameras and stuff that's up on the top if you have like an HDA car. The other ones for the Mini, I know, just take the little plastic cover and replace that. The camera is really only this piece right here, so all of this is just extra, but this is what comes in the kit, and it's supposed to make it a little bit less noticeable that you have a dash cam. Now, if you don't option this with the rear camera, you won't get this particular one, but I did, so I got a rear camera. Also comes with some tools. Over here you have your trim tool. This is pretty tough, although I have snapped these before coming from the companies like this, so we'll have to see how that does. As for connections, this is your intercept, so it's going to take power off of the rear view mirror if you have the HomeLink, because that needs power. It's 12 volts. It's going to take power off of that. However, they sent me two of them, so I'm assuming there are two different connectors, and I assume they just hedge their bets and send you both, because I imagine these aren't going to break the bank for them. What else do we have here? We have a support card. I'm probably never going to use that. We have a user manual. Definitely not going to use that. And finally, a SD card reader with USB A and C. That's actually kind of cool, because a lot of them don't come with that, and a lot of computers now, for some reason, are ditching the SD card readers, which I'm not a huge fan of, personally, but that's a completely different topic for a completely different channel. This looks like it does appear that FitCam also gave you some cable management stuff that have 3M adhesive on them. And the actual rear camera has... Okay, so it's a pretty long cable. It does not look like it was measured for the car, so you might have some extra after you've routed it and everything that you're going to have to deal with. Or I'm going to have to deal with, I should say. Otherwise, it just looks like your standard rear camera for a dash cam. If you've done dash cam installs before, this is all pretty much normal from here. Rear camera's probably 1080p and not going to be great, but will at least show you whoever runs into the back of you. Your front camera, however, is a Sony Starvis sensor. It says 4K, but these things never tend to actually do 4K. I know my last dash cam only did 1080. So I don't really have high hopes for it actually being 4K. This particular camera is also using one of the newer chipsets, so it should be a little bit less laggy and all that. I've had some dash cams in the past that were almost unusable because they were so laggy and they would overheat and they'd get awful. The new chips actually seem to be pretty useful, and they even seem to be a little bit nicer with power efficiency and all that. However, this does not have a built-in battery. I believe it has supercapacitors, but it's not quite good enough for staying on past just when you hit the button of the car. It has time to finish out the last clip and shut off. However, there are options. If you would like this thing to stay on while your car is parked, they will sell you a kit that wires straight into your fuse box. I don't particularly like those. I had one in my GTI in the past. It was a pain in the butt to wire, and I think I've run out of things to take out of the box. So let's go run down to the car and let's get this actually set up in there. Hopefully, that'll be an easy process, although you know how this goes.
Unlike when I would normally install dash cams, I decided to work from the back front. So this time I decided to install the rear facing camera first and run the wire, as it is the most difficult part of the process. Now, the initial way I tried to do this, I tried to do it without removing any of the interior panels. Now that ended up not being possible, as the way the car is set up, the side curtain airbag kind of prevents that, so I inevitably decided to remove the side panels. Now, these side airbags are very dangerous. You should be very careful with them, and you need to be careful where you run the wire, as there is a very high chance that you could hurt yourself. Now, this is normally where you would expect that I blew one of them up and lost a hand, but I didn't. And honestly, guys, just because I'm narrating doesn't mean something bad happened. Maybe I just wanted to make sure you guys had the best information. Maybe I just...
Oh, for f***'s sake!
Anyway, with that trim piece out of the way, in at least one piece, I was able to pull the headliner down just enough to get the cable where it needed to go. Thanks to Hyundai only using friction to keep their weather stripping in place, I was able to remove it to manipulate the headrest just enough to get the wire all the way to the front of the car. So first things first, now that we have the backup cam run here, with only minor issues popping up during that. So first things first, we're going to I'm going to do this first. Going to pop this off. So this is your little cover up here. We're going to get these clips down here off. Be very careful not to hit that camera. Alright, and with those free, you just kind of shimmy it downward, because you're going to try to go towards the front of the car. Oh, okay. Well, it's free. Nothing broke, but boy did that sound awful. So now we're going to figure out which one of these plugs I need. We're going to unplug this. This is your 12 volt power for your HomeLink mirror. Watch out for all this stuff. Like, this is your ADAS front camera. Try not to bump it or do anything like that. This is your, I'm assuming a GPS antenna, although I'm not 100% sure. Anywho, we're going to unplug this, plug this one in, preferably the right direction. And we're going to plug this one up here. So now your HomeLink mirror has power, and your FitCam will have power off of that. So this is rear camera, so we're going to plug that in. And now I ran this already, you saw that. This. Slide you up here. So I can do that. I should have stowed this down here a little better. I don't want this just kind of haphazardly stuck up there, you know. Actually, counterpoint, let's do this. So I think for this to fit a little better, I'm going to route it the other way around the mirror. Get out of the way. Okay. Let's try it that way.
Ooh, okay. Alright. So now those are in. Boy, does that make an awful noise. Let's start the car. Alright, I'm gonna grab you here real quick so you can see what I see. So up here, there's power going to the car. So everything's on here. There's, you can see the little LEDs are flashing right there. There's already an SD card in here. So now while that's doing whatever it needs to set up for the first time, I'm going to go through the process, download the app, get all that stuff done. I'm going to make sure everything works before we button everything up, because you know how that goes. If I button everything up, it's not going to work. You saw the lights were working, so we have that at least. Let's make sure everything works. I don't want to do all that ever again, because that sucked. But I'll join back with you in a second. We'll see what the camera sees, and then button everything up, and we'll go for a little drive and see what it looks like.
Over the next couple of weeks, I just drove around and collected as much footage for you as I possibly could, which was quite easy as the FitCam just turns on and starts recording as soon as you start your car, and turns off and stops recording as soon as you turn your ignition off. Now, you could option for a always-on harness that plugs directly into your fuse box. However, I did not, so I only get footage when I am driving. As you can see, license plates and road signs are very easy to see, giving you ample evidence if someone were to ever hit and run, and the picture quality is just perfect. Probably not 4K, but I didn't imagine Sony Starvis sensors actually were. Now the back camera is just as good, a little bit lesser quality, but still good enough to see what you need to see if, say, someone were to rear-end you. Nighttime performance is pretty damn good, if I do say so myself, and was surprisingly good compared to other cameras I've had in the past. Images aren't blown out, however you do get a little bit of a haloing effect around stoplights, which is to be expected as it's glass seeing through glass. Unfortunately, rear camera performance at night was not as good as I was expecting, but it is still good enough to be able to see whatever you need to see, like license plates. The rear camera did, however, have issues with people's headlights, especially LED headlights. They kind of blew out the image. It's still not that big of a deal. You will be able to see enough of what you need to see in an emergency situation, but I wouldn't necessarily rely on this. It's probably a better good to have than a need to have. Right before I was finishing this video, something interesting actually happened on my commute home, so maybe getting a dash cam for those weird little moments on the road isn't a bad idea. Thank you for watching. If you decide you want a FitCamX, why don't you use my link down below. Every purchase you make through that link helps out Roads Less Traveled with a small kickback. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good day, everyone. Peace out.